What the heck is the difference between an ale and a lager? The main difference is a lager yeast prefers lower fermentation temperatures and requires a little bit of process in order to get a clean product on the other end. Whereas an ale yeast usually operates around room temperature, and when it's done, it's done. Both make great beers, but a lager yeast with certain styles of beer produces a much cleaner and crisper beer on the other end. A lager yeast can be used for several styles, including rice lagers and Schwarz beers. So basically what you do is you bring your brew down to the temperature that lager yeast likes to operate at, and you ferment in that temperature range, even if it means fermenting in an ice bath or in a refrigerator set to that temperature range. Then once fermentation is done, you'll bring your brew up just under 70 degrees Fahrenheit, where the yeast can do a diacetyl rest, meaning the yeast will consume all the buttery diacetyl that was created during fermentation. Then slowly over a week to a few weeks, you bring your temperature back down just above freezing and you let it sit until it's clear and crisp, which can take weeks or months, but it's totally worth it for a clean, crisp beer. But whether or not you need an ale or a lager yeast for your beer really depends on the style of beer you're making and what yeast the recipe calls for. And it also depends on what equipment you're working with.